इराण आणि इस्रायलमध्ये 7 दिवसांपासून सुरू असलेल्या युद्धाने गंभीर स्वरूप धारण केलेलं आहे। या संघर्षात आतापर्यंत इराणमधल्या 639 जणांचा मृत्यू झालाय, 12,398 जण जखमी झाले, तर इराणच्या हल्ल्यात इस्रायलच्या 24 जणांचा मृत्यू झालाय। दोन्ही राष्ट्रांकडून दोन्ही देशांची महत्त्वाची ठाणी लक्ष्य करण्यात येत आहे। यात संरक्षण मंत्रालय, परराष्ट्र मंत्रालय यांचा समावेश आहे, तर इस्रायलकडून इराणच्या अण्वस्त्र कार्यक्रमातल्या महत्त्वाच्या स्थानांना लक्ष्य करण्यात येते। इराणच्या आण्विक कार्यक्रमामुळे इस्रायलला धोका वाटतोय। इराण अण्वस्त्र विकसित करत असल्याचा संशय इस्रायलला असल्यामुळे हा तणाव वाढलाय आणि युद्ध भडकलंय। इराणच्या अण्वस्त्र कार्यक्रमाला अमेरिकेचा सुद्धा तीव्र विरोध आहे। इराणचे अण्वस्त्र गंभीर धोका ठरू शकतात असा ट्रम्प यांचा दावा आहे। इराण आणि इस्रायल यांच्यातलं युद्ध हे पॅलेस्टाईन, हिजबुल्ला, हमास यांना इराणचा पाठिंबा आणि इस्रायलचे लष्करी हल्ले यामुळे सुरू झालेला आहे असा सुद्धा एक सूर निघतोय। आणि याच संघर्षासंदर्भात बोलण्यासाठी आपल्या सोबत आहेत इस्रायलचे भारतातले कॉन्सुलेट जनरल कोबी शोशानी। शोशानीजी, आपलं स्वागत आहे पुढारी न्यूज मध्ये।
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Shoshani-ji, my question is it okay if I ask in English?
Yes, please, if it's possible.
Yes. Israel is already fighting on multiple fronts. What happened that you opened another front with Iran?
I think that it's a very systematic war since October 7th. First of all, we completed the Hamas capability in Gaza. Then we moved into Lebanon and completed the head of Hezbollah. We moved to Yemen, and right now is the origin of the terror country in the world, Iran, and we are doing it in a very systematic way.
What is with the timing?
Sorry?
What is with the timing? Why now? It's not like Iran had started their nuclear program yesterday. It was already there, right? So why now?
Yeah.
What is with the timing?
I think that in the recent months it was an effort from the Americans to find out what's going on and to reach into agreement about the enrichment of the nuclear capabilities. For many, many months, the Iranians cheated according to our intelligence, and they are almost a step from 5, some people said 9 warheads, atomic warheads, which bring Israel into a very dramatic days. And this is the reason that we did it in these dramatic days. I think it's a historical days. I think that it's going to bring peace, in my point of view, to the Middle East, because it's going to change completely the area.
Mr. Shoshani, I will be translating some of your content to our viewers in Marathi. Is it okay?
Very much.
Yes. शोशानी जी आता जे म्हणाले की इराणने त्यांच्या युरेनियम एनरिचमेंटचा प्रोग्राम जो होता तो सुरू केलेला होता आणि त्याच्याना बऱ्यापैकी यश मिळत होतं, ज्यानंतर त्यांनी हे हल्ले केलेले आहेत। हुती, हिजबुल्ला आणि इतर सर्व त्यांचे शत्रू जे होते त्या सगळ्यांचा खात्मा केल्यानंतर आता त्यांनी आपला मोर्चा इराणकडे वळवला। माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू इज, वर यू एक्सपेक्टिंग दिस लेवल ऑफ रिटॅलिएशन फ्रॉम इराण?
We expected, and I think even in the first day we were surprised that the reaction was a little bit lower than our expectation. But as you saw this morning, it was a terrible incident in one of the medical centers in the south part of Israel, direct damage to the hospital. Fortunately, it was not a lot of damage by casualties, but the damage to the building and to the medical center was very, very significant, also in the center of Israel, near to Tel Aviv as well. But we expected that to be happen. That was part of the risk. But I have to tell you something which is, I think, very, very important. Like in India, we have left and right, we have opposition and coalition. Everything is okay. In this case, we don't have not left and not right, not opposition and not coalition.
Right.
We have united towards this threat, towards the Jewish state.
Right. It is the heaviest aerial attack in the history of Israel, if I'm not wrong. Even the prestigious Iron Dome could not stop it partially. What is your comment on that?
First of all, we knew from the beginning that there is some limitation of the Iron Dome and other systems, not only, also Arrow and other American THAAD and other systems. There is we're talking about the 95%, which is, I think, the highest in the world. I think this is the best system in the world by air defense. Then we know that some of the missiles going to fall down. That's what we told our citizens. I think it was very, very clear to most of them. The less casualties by men, of course, right now we have 24, I think, dead. It's because people are not entering to shelters. And in Israel, every house has a special room which is a shelter. And that's the reason. But we knew about it. We know that the Iranians targeting civilian population. That was part of their aim. That's part of their terrorist ideology.
Okay, so they did target your civilian facilities, but still the casualties on their end is more.
There is a casualty from our side, definitely. Most of them, Israel work, we try to work normally. People go to work, people that are in the middle of the road. It's not always easy to go to shelters. But some of the people don't have enough time to go to the shelter, or they don't have the ability to go to the shelters. That's the reason. But the people who enter to a shelter or this special security room that every house in most of the houses in Israel has, I think that most of them are safe or injured in a very minor.
All right. They use their ballistic missiles, including Fatah. I guess they used Fatah for the first time. And Israel was probably ready, but partially they failed. Your air defense system is cracking, they say?
I don't think so. I think that it is a learning machine. The learning machine, which means that every time that we are practicing attacks toward Israel, we developing and become more expert and expert. And I think that the idea, we are a small country, but, sometimes in between some of the missiles can sneak in between, especially if you're talking about a large number of missiles. And we are examining the place exactly where the missiles in an open area. We are not sending any rockets. We are saving, in this case, money because it's a lot of money. But sometimes there is some fault, like we had this morning, that the missile was actually sneak roof of a medical center, a hospital.
Okay. You say you attacked on their nuclear facilities. Do you claim you destroyed them completely?
No. The answer is no. We are right now examining what is the result of the series. There are several plants all over Iran. We know right now that in Fordow, nobody is touched yet. This is the plant, the nuclear plant, one of the biggest. It's under the mountain. Still, we are trying to find out the route and the best way to attack there. But definitely the rest, in Isfahan, in Qom, in Tehran, in other places, Natanz, which the enrichment is there. Okay. There is a severe damage there, and I think that we have to examine what is the result of the attack.
Mm-hmm. So what I understand is the underground facilities are still intact. So are you planning to attack on that? And a report also says that you have asked America for the GBU.
We didn't ask America for right now anything, but I think that they have the ability definitely to enter to the mountains, because this is part of this plant was built under the mountain. Then they are examining what is the right reaction for this. But I have to tell you in a very open way. I mean, nuclear capability in the end of such a regime is not a threat to Israel. It's a threat to the entire world. It's a threat to Europe. It's a threat to the peace and stability of the Middle East. And I think that what we are doing right now, most of the countries in Europe, they understand the risk and they give us the support. I think that's the main important thing.
All right. Initially Hamas, then Houthi, Hezbollah, and now Iran. Why is it like that? I mean, does Israel think Iran is the mothership of all those three and destroy it once and for all? Or it's just a nuclear thing?
Absolutely. I think since October 7th, I think that Iran fueling the terrorist area here in the Middle East, from Gaza to Lebanon, they gave them an order, they gave them the money, they gave them the ammunition, they gave them the tactics. And we did it not in a parallel way. We did it in a step by step. I think Prime Minister Netanyahu made it very, very clear. We finish with Hamas. We finish with Hezbollah in Lebanon. See what's happening in Syria when the butcher from Damascus actually disappeared from the map. And in Yemen, we do it in the last 1.5 years. Right now is Iran. This is the center of these terror groups in the Middle East.
You say Iran provide them with the weapons and everything. Now, Israel and Iran also have a long history, not to forget the Pahlavi era and the friendship. It is said that Israel provided Iran with weapons worth $500 million in the past, and you guys practically trained them to use the weapons. Now, Iran is using the same training against you. Does that worry you? Does that bother you?
I have to tell you, I'm not sure. I think that since 1979, since the Iranian Revolution, we don't have embassy in Tehran. We had a good relation. I have to emphasize in a very clear voice that we don't have anything against the Iranian people. In the contrary, we like them, we love them, and I think that they are very smart people. We have a problem right now with the regime, and I hope that they will understand the messages coming from Washington in a very clear voice, because eventually this is the only way to get out of it. But otherwise, they will risk their regime. It's a dictatorship. When you close and turn off the internet in Iran, it means that they are worried. They are worried from internal revolution. And we don't have anything against the Iranian people, and that's the reason we are not targeting any Iranian civilian centers. We are targeting only strategic and military services.
But still, you are targeting the strategic installation, but still the casualties around 650 in Iran. How many more lives does it have to be?
I'm not sure that there is a lot of casualties in the civilian Iranian centers. I don't think so. And most of them, there are people who are trying to send rockets towards Israel, especially ballistic missiles towards Israel. When they try to ignite or to fuel the missiles, our Israeli Air Force find them and actually dismantle the missiles and prevent them to fly to Israel. That's the only thing. They are not civilians. They are definitely military men.
Is there any chance of peace in the near time? Is there any chance of bringing this entire conflict to the table and talk it out?
Thank you very much for this question. I think it's very, very important. I'm very, very, very optimistic. I think that this operation, Rising Lion, that's already, this is the 7th day, I think going to bring a peace to the Middle East, not less than that. Peace and stability to the Middle East. All our neighbors, and I get so many messages from the Arab world and of course also from Iran as well, that understand that this operation can lead eventually to better place. I mean, the Middle East to be a better place with a vibrant economy and good relations with all countries. I'm very optimistic in this case, including Israel and Iran.
What is your comment on the stand taken by India by Prime Minister Modi?
I don't want to enter into internal Indian internal relations. Definitely, I think that what we saw, the support of India in the last 2 years and the good relations that we have between the two governments, it's extremely, extremely important for us. I get the support from the people, I get the support from the government, and I think that we love you and we stand side by side towards you in hard times, and that's the most important thing. We have a very good and open relation.
Mr. Shoshani, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.